Hello and welcome to another product review here at ASAPro. My name is Steve and today we're going to be looking at Newtek's live panel solution. If you don't know what live panel is, don't worry. We will be going over all the details inside of it and how it works and what you can come to expect from it. So when you go to the IP address of the TriCaster, and you all also have to create a password for your TriCaster. It does not come one by default, so if you want to create one under the Windows settings under user accounts, then you would be able to log into this panel. So we'll start with Audio Mixer, and what you can see is all of your inputs as well as your digital disc recorder inputs, some sound and effects, and then of course all of your outputs. Input 1 is just where my microphone is coming in right now. What you can do here is have another operator or a producer or an audio technician actually take this set and not have to be directly in front of the control panel, not directly in front of the TriCaster, and so where they can monitor levels remotely. So in this case, the one thing that you just want to keep in mind is you will not be able to designate your sources for each input. You will have to do that on the TriCaster itself still, but you can monitor these levels and bring them up and down and solo and all of this functionality that you would normally have been able to do inside of the TriCaster is now here in this nice little page. Just keep in mind that one limitation. So we'll go back to the home page. We'll skip over for data link and go right into media. And when we go into media, this is actually a pretty neat setup because you have both of your graphics and both of your digital disc recorders right in here, and then you also have your sound tabs too. And let me go to the TriCaster page. I'm actually still in the live panel, just on a different screen. And actually what I can do here is, you'll see in the bottom right in my DSKs, if I click on these, this is actively changing what is going on in the DSK. So this could actually be another representation of a producer or, an associate going through and, traversing through the graphics or the videos that are coming up next to play, because as you can see, I can even play these down. Let me go to the video, and I can actually play this down, and this is actively making it play inside of the TriCaster itself. So it's not just a way to monitor what's going on. It can actively be a part of the production, and Live Panel makes it do that in a more spread out space, spanning many more computers, many more technicians. So if we go back to the TriCaster real quick, I want to show you in the DDR, let's just go to DDR2 actually. Make this a little bigger. There's nothing in DDR2 right now. And, say a technical director is busy with mixing the show, of course. He's got a lot of other stuff to do. A producer can be bringing in assets to DDR2 without having to take over control of the keyboard and mouse, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I go back to the media and go to DDR2, there's nothing in there, just like the TriCaster, and I press add. What I'm looking at right now is all of the media inside of the TriCaster, not my local PC and not anything else on the network. This is on the TriCaster, but here's something pretty cool. So if I actually come down to browse, that is when I am looking at the PC that I'm on. And when I click on something and add to it, then I am actually taking that piece of media, sending it over the network into the disk of the TriCaster. So the TriCaster is not calling on another location. This is actually being stored inside of the D drive. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. If I hover over this, it'll say the path, D sessions demo. It'll actually say the stills have been received from somewhere, but nonetheless, it is actually still on the TriCaster hard drive. There are folks who just are not comfortable with operating a show from TriCaster. I mean, maybe they're in the beginning levels, or B, they're just not physically in front of the TriCaster, just can't get to those controls for whatever reason. So I'll show you now about the switcher page in the live panel, and that looks exactly like this. So what you're seeing here on the top is just the program monitor. There is no preview monitor in here, making it a little bit more simple, but down below you can see all of your sources. And if you tab through it, you can even come up to your M&Es and your buffers as well. To the right of the program monitor, you see your two downstream keys, and when I choose one of those downstream keys, it actually will automatically bring it to program. Clicking it again will take it away. So in the preview monitor, so there's two options coming up here, transitions and preview. So if I'm on transition, this is going to switch up on this page, but just when I click on it live, this one once, click on it again, click on another input, you're hot switching all of these different inputs. But if I come over to preview B and I go to, let's say, my bars and tone, you can't see it in a preview monitor, but if you notice that green border around the source, meaning that it's in the preview monitor as a tally light, then you can know that this is what is going to come next. You can start building that shot. And the way to transition inside of Switcher is to simply click on the source to bring it to the preview, and then click it again and swipe to bring it to program. It's pretty neat. And then the same thing with the downstream keys. What you can do is click and swipe, and that will actually use the transition as opposed to just the cut action. So then another page that we want to talk about inside of Live Panel is the Live Panel Builder. And what you see when you open that up for the first time is a tile node grid. And when I click on these, obviously they don't do anything yet, but when I come to configure these tiles, I can change the size. I'll just call this one Mix 1, and then choose the actual Mix 1 as a source. So then when I press OK, obviously it will be whatever's on the mix right now, but keep in mind that this is going to be whatever your program Mix 1 out is configured to. So let me show you one that might be great for producers, for example. So in this page, you can see the preview window, not the program window, the preview window. And then on the right-hand side, I have a list of different sources. And then that will be brought to the preview window. So I'll show you back in the TriCaster what's happening. What this is kind of doing is giving recommendations to the technical director. The producer could be just placing things in the preview window. You see it a lot in sports or news, live shows and stuff, where the producer is sending recommendations on what to cut to, and then the technical director would actually take that place and switch it in. But then another case for Live Panel Builder is actually building your own switches yourself, and I actually have one here on my page 4, and that would look something like this. And what I'm doing here is I have all my 8 inputs up top. In the center, I have my program window, and that's what you guys are seeing right now. on the left of that is the preview monitor. So what I can do here is actually set up all of my previews, just like we saw a minute ago in that producer window, and I'm sending the input to the preview. And then how I've set this up is when I click on preview monitor, that will actually bring me back to the program. So if I clicked on that preview window again, then it would of course switch. And this is just how I've set it up. There's hundreds, thousands different ways to make this the best for you guys. And that could mean just somebody who isn't comfortable in front of TriCaster, somebody who just needs simplified controls to get through the production itself. So the last feature inside of Live Panel that we want to talk about is the score bug, which is great for sports, of course. And we will see that in the bottom right corner of Live Panel. And when you click on that, you have a couple of different templates: baseball, soccer, cricket, football, hockey. And when I come over to, let's just do soccer for now. So I'll come back to the TriCaster real quick, and what you can see down in graphics 1 is I have just a score bug that I imported through the TriCaster. And you can see that it is taken all of the information from the Live Panel already. And what I'll do here is I'll bring up this score bug on top of the Live Panel, just so you can see that it works. So the, say Ephrata scores a goal. That is updating the score bug as you go along. And then it's a tie game. So this is just another way of how you can utilize other people inside of your production in order to take some responsibilities away from the technical director, make it a much more team effort, much more fluid, and maybe it's even a space thing as well, where you have to bring in, more people, and not having enough room in the control room and kind of spreading out. We see that as a very popular way of using Live Panel. So if you have any questions or any use cases that you can see with Live Panel, be sure to get in touch with us at ASAPro, and you can reach us at www.asapro-line.com. Thanks for watching.